2 minutes. 2 minutes, Nico. Her.
Wow.
Carl!
Hey, little buddy Garl. Welcome back to the European vacation. It's only going to take me 2, maybe 3 weeks to get through pictures. I blame Master Jedi. I got accidentally her dump of all of her photos as well, so I've been wading through pictures. I still have plenty of duplicates because work sucks. Just blanket statement, but yeah, I've been spending so much time on that. I haven't really been able to go through and finish cleaning up any of these albums, though I did make a special album just for the parade that's going to come up here in a little bit. I have all of the videos taken out of today's main presentation, but I built an album with all of the video I took, some of the video that Master Jedi took. So if there's time at the end, there won't be. I'm going to play that one through. Otherwise, that might be like a Thursday filler or something. We'll get back to that one. I got all the pictures, all this mostly static pictures. I'm also discovering my phone behaves very weirdly about the live photos. I think as soon as you do any kind of zoom or pan or anything, it automatically cuts that off. I think it's possible to turn it on, but you have to do something. So there's kind of a weird mix of the live photos in here for those familiar with the Apple Sphere and how those work. But today, since we're off to Scotland on the journey, actually, we finished the England album completely. It's boxed off. So we're going to pick right up with photo number 1, which was the first photo on the train after crossing the border. I don't know exactly where the border was. They didn't put up a big sign. That's not where the parade was. The parade was actually in Edinburgh, as opposed to at the border, where it probably should have been. I bet if you drove a car, they probably give you a parade when you cross the border there. Also, since it's all the UK, they may not even have the border listed. It may just be a random line on the map and not actually drawn on the ground. Master Jedi is here. For those that enjoyed the fun last week, Master Jedi is sitting right over my shoulder. She will be actively correcting me for all of my lies through the entire stream today, because that's all I did last time was lie constantly. Thank you for the resub. What am I talking about? See, she's already correcting me. What did I lie about? What am I? Oh, I'm being mean. Well, I didn't say that you were making up things that I was lying about. I'm actively lying about everything. Possibly, it may be because I have the memory of, what was that fish in that movie about the other fish with the clowns? You know what I'm talking about. So let me take a look at what's going on with the jump here. I noticed that I got the wall of emotes for Obi, but it didn't actually drop, but also, wrong hand. I've noticed that landing pad hasn't gone away in a while. Is it reset? Okay, that cleared it. So now let me do a test. This is my job, so let's do some testing. Nope, not going to happen. What happens if I do it again? Because it did work when I tested it. It just doesn't like Obi anymore. Well, you piece of crap. Okay, maybe that was a little aggressive, but okay. Jump is working. It just maybe does or does not want to work with certain emotes today. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I did look when I tried during the intro there, and I don't see any active errors coming up. Oh, I know where the errors show up, and I can't get to them while I'm live streaming. So, okay, there it is. It's a little broken. Whatever. Nothing new there. Welcome in, Stitch. Thank you for the... I'm trying to understand how they've worded this. There's a year in there somewhere. Congratulations. Thank you. Welcome in. We're going to go to Scotland in just a few minutes. I don't think I have to yammer for the full half hour like I did last time. I was worried that I might get through all of these pictures too fast last time, so I went ahead and talked for half an hour. That was not a problem at all. Actually, if I start fairly soon, we might get through Scotland. There's a chance we'd get into Ireland. It'd be probably beneficial for everybody if I went ahead and completed the tour this week, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I am wearing the family tartan for the Scotland tour here. As I just mentioned, we finished England right up on the train to the border, so that's where we're going to pick up and go. Miss Moon has arrived. We're going to get... There may only be one photo of Miss Moon that has made the cut, because I think all of the others ended up involving Master Jedi, and we have a strong embargo on Master Jedi photos. So there may be the one, but I know that there is at least this one in here, Miss Moon. So we're going to get you covered this week. Also, I am trialing a new Shouter Outer. Dan with 2A's finally fixed this one. So congrats to Dan for taking advantage of the stuff that Twitch put back so I could keep working. But the other one that I found for Dan with a single A that actually plays without the music when you don't have a clip, but allows you to do it without running the clip if they have one. I just like the clean lines and the layout and everything, and maybe I add a sound effect, which I think is what Dan is planning to do for his. He might even have it working on today's stream. He did not on Thursday. He tested it once when he was warming up a stream and it worked fine, but then after that it stopped working. Kind of like the stupid drop game here today. I'm sorry, the jump game. Drop game works. So he might be able to demo that today. I'm going to fire the new Shouter Outer up on Thursday. Pretty sure there will be a Thursday stream. As I mentioned earlier, work sucks. The next 3 Thursdays are going to be rough. I should have the timing available for actually doing a Thursday stream, but is it this coming Thursday? Oh man, it is this Thursday, isn't it? My coding partner, our challenge takes place over a course of 6 weeks. If they had given us more than 2 weeks notice that it was coming, we probably could have all adjusted our vacation schedules. But as it was, they didn't. So I was out the first 2 weeks. Our product owner is out the middle 2 weeks right now. And then my coding partner is out the last 2 weeks. So we don't have a fully functional team the entire way through this. So it's going to be ugly. This coming Thursday, I may be the only person representing our entire group for Thursday and Friday. So this coming Thursday, that one is a maybe. Honestly, if we had been left to work in our normal operating pattern, it would have been fun. But this is the new investment company deciding they know better how we should all be doing our jobs, and I'm giving it 17 and a half months until they sold off everything and laid everybody off, and then I got to start all over again. That angers me no end, and I have no doubt whatsoever that it's coming because I have seen this exact pattern happen before multiple times. Very unhappy about it. But instead, you know what? Let's go to Scotland, everybody. Boop. Boom. There it is. Now, I did go in. I did find where the HDR settings are in photos, so I have HDR turned off. Interesting side note, you turn off HDR, and when it plays a video, it says, nope, I see HDR, I'm playing it, even though you didn't want it. So that's part of the reason that the videos are all scrubbed out at this phase. That gives me a little more time to investigate how in the hell do I make it not HDR, because HDR going through OBS, it washes everything out like last week. I was getting angrier and angrier by the screen as we went through. That's kind of become my MO, just getting angrier and angrier every moment, every day. Thanks, America. So here we are. We have crossed the border. We are into Scotland. The tour is off and running. And how long? Look at that. Only 15 minutes this time. This gives us an extra 15 minutes in Scotland today before we race off to go see what our good buddy Dan Servo is doing today. Conveniently, coincidentally enough, Jason Bullman is in England for the UKGE trade show right now. He is going to Edinburgh for some vacation time as soon as he is done with the show this weekend, which is where I just was. So I like to think that he's just going to move into the hotel that I just moved out of. So as a side effect, Dan is doing something on his own. Actually, you know what? I do know what Dan is going to play today. I don't know if it's supposed to be a secret. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But it's instead of Spooky Sundays, he's doing Scary Saturday today. So that's going to be pretty good. But he is definitely streaming. So we are going to be raiding out in an hour and 45 minutes. If I still can't manage to finish this tour off today, then you know what? Screw it. Next Saturday, we'll be off to Ireland at that point. And then I'll just make 3 weeks out of it. What do I care? I got nothing else to do. The new Millennium Tales Adventures of Elliot comes out June 18th. So I'm going to start streaming that one the first Saturday after the game is out. I don't know what the dates are. It might be the 20th. It might be something. I don't know. Everything is a mishmash of timey-wimey to me anymore. So maybe I'll have time to finish doing Octopath Traveler 0. Maybe I won't. Everyone knows that I hate to actually stick around with a game long enough to get it finished. It's because I only play them on stream, therefore it takes forever. Kind of like Jason Bullman took 2.5 years to get through Baldur's Gate 3 because he was only playing it 3 or 4 hours at a time. So here we are. Welcome to Scotland, everybody. I need to bring photos back up to the top of my stack so that I can see what I'm doing as I click on things to take you on the tour. 454 photos in this album. I definitely have a bunch of Master Jedis in here. Although I'm also pretty sure that I took more photos here than I did anywhere else. There are going to be some duplicates. There may be some virtually identical duplicates that I didn't filter out, but that's because I don't have time. I don't have time for anything. I'm spending so much time at work right now. If we do another panic project like this immediately afterward, where my coding partner and we're going to have words with our management. This is unsustainable. So here we go. Welcome aboard, everybody. We are on the train. We're looking at Scottish buildings. Oh my God, you never know where you were. These are so different than everywhere else in the world. But apparently, honestly, I think I probably took this picture because it was the first building we came to in Scotland. So it was just a commemorative photo. Sometimes I do things. No one knows why. They just happen. Don't question it. Welcome to Edinburgh Waverley. The really cool train station just right in the middle. Actually, I think it is the dividing line between Newtown and Old Town. It just runs through this little gulch right up the middle. Edinburgh Castle is up one side, and that would be the Old Town side. So the Newtown side is on the other, where our hotel was. And it's this giant train yard with this huge roof built across the top to keep you nice and dry as you get off the train. Very appreciated. That's another shot up the side tracks, because it's a big ass train station. There's our train. There's our train looking the other direction. That's back down the tracks. That's the way we came from. Officially, these tracks do continue on in this direction, but I think this train turns around to go back down. It is a big butt train station, especially once mine was there. Now, see, so the line we were on, that ends right there. Trust me, I've got more pictures. I've got pictures about every 6 feet all the way up and around the front end of the train. You're going to love this. This train has such a big butt. So these lines for this train end here, but the other trains continue on. See, now the walk-up sounds, those are sticking around, but the new shouty outy is going to replace this. So everyone enjoy the shouty outy here while it lasts. I may experiment over the next couple of streams with, sometimes I'll have it do the clips and sometimes I won't. We're going to see how those go. I think the clips are kind of non-intrusive enough. They may stick around, but I got to decide if I want to fully buy into the whole smooth jazz thing like Dan did. Oh, that was so close, Nico. So close. So yeah, we rode in a Zuma train on the LNER line, London Northeastern Railway. I think that's actually what that stands for. And I think I didn't totally lie. There's a possibility I've tried to make it up from memory, which might legally be a lie, but it's not intentionally a lie, so it's fine. The cops won't come for me. So there's a little bit closer. There's a little bit farther forward, but closer, and you can see all of the red stuff so that the train doesn't blast through it like a Hollywood movie, which is good for us. And then we were parked next to our twin. 2 trains. We only rode one. And then you can walk up the stairs to this little walkway up here where you get a much more delicious shot of the breadth of the tracks across. And then somewhere kind of back there at the end of the light. No, I can't point up that high. I used to have the Big Me overlay, but I think I got rid of that one because I would never have use for it until now. So I can't point at things. I can't telestrate things. I should work on that too. But yeah, wait, the top center of the photo. There's the bridge over the tracks back there. But it's all delightful skylight in between. Yeah, this is it. This is the top of the train station. And there's the bridge. Look at that. It's like I predicted what was coming. Yeah, I took a picture of the elevators. I'm sorry, the lift. What am I saying? It's right there in front of me too. There's probably a reason. It's probably not a reason. I took a picture of everything. I don't usually take many photos. I'm weird that way. There's probably a reason for it. I don't know that the reason would make sense to anybody else, but sometimes it does to me. So on this trip, though, I went the absolute other way, and I just went nuts taking pictures of anything and everything. Seems like some pictures for a detective game. It could be. We could be Nancy Drew in this for all I know. Although, spoiler, we're getting to Sherlock Holmes in a little while. It's somewhere in these. We got 440 photos to go in Scotland. It's somewhere in that mix. Jedi Drew. Jedi spelled Jediy. Drew. We'll workshop it. There's the Scotsman with a Scottish flag. And actually, those two in combination are the real reason that I took this. Plus, we had just gotten here. We were super excited. We got not the first train in the morning, which is like at 8 or 8:30, and no one wanted to be up that early, but I think it was an 11 o'clock train. So we got here about 4. So it was perfect for check-in time. Our hotel, once you came up the lifts, the hotel was about a block and a half away. It was so nice. We actually just walked the bags over, but it was already check-in time, so we could go straight to the room. We didn't even need to take a nap because we didn't fly between time zones. Jedsey Drew? That's got a possibility. We'll workshop it, Nico. Yeah, there's a picture, all right. That is on the way up the very slight hill to the hotel, looking back down at the train station that sits in the gulch right down below. And the buildings in the center ground back there are this side of the buildings that form the Royal Mile on the other side. And whatever a Franco Manca is, we apparently walked past it on the way to the hotel. That is looking, okay, pay no attention right here. I'm just going to cover this up with my hand. That's not my finger. That's alien. That's St. Andrew Square on Princes Street. Our hotel is actually that very first building that you can see, not the one with the flags. We made that. I'm sorry. I made that mistake. That one is 100% on me. The first building, which was our hotel, it had the name of the restaurant on the front of the building. It did not have the name of the hotel. So I went to the second one, which was clearly a hotel, and it had two doormen out front who did a lovely job of grabbing our bags, my little lightweight fly bag and Master Jedi's 75-kilo bag, approximately. Walked them all the way in, and then they asked us, now you're sure you're here for whatever the hell the name their hotel was, that it was not the name of our hotel? And then I had to do the walk of shame as they walked us back out, carried the bags back down the steps for us, walked us out, and then had to walk around next door, where we then met the ultimate doorman, our good friend Joseph. I'm doxing him because he deserves it. Everyone go stay at the Edinburgh Grand. Tell Joseph we sent you, and he will hook you up with everything in the city. I'm not positive that I got a picture of the Thai place he referred to, but it was the best. Well, okay, technically it was the only Thai we ate in Edinburgh, but definitely it was the best there. Are you sure you belong here? No. Nope was in fact the correct answer. So anyway, there's a fun statue in the little square out there. Miss Moon stayed at the hotel on the opposite corner, so it was super convenient when we met up in a couple of days. That is looking up from inside our hotel, the correct hotel. There was this beautiful column of verticality all the way up top. And that is looking down from our room level. We were up on, it's Europe. In the US, it would have been the 4th floor. In Europe, it's the 3rd floor, because ground and 1 are treated separately. I don't know why. It's the 1st floor above the ground floor is apparently what that means. I just had to do a little mental mapping, and we were good to go from that point on. So that's what it looks like down. Get used to the weird ass hypnotizing carpets, because there were a lot of them. In fact, even when we got to Dublin, the hotel there still had some of those. You don't know which makes more sense, but both are confusing, both looking up and looking down. If you suffer from vertigo, you want to stay away from this railing. Interestingly, the restaurant that was out of the front of this building was on the 4th floor. So we actually had to leave our room and go upstairs for breakfast, which was fun and different just because it could. And then there was kind of the bar lounge on the main ground floor and in the basement. This building was once upon a time a bank, and they turned the vault floor on the bottom into the lounge/bar, because of course you would. You put the restaurant upstairs and the cool stuff downstairs. Got a couple very non-representative photos of those a little later on. 1st floor, ground floor concept. Oh, yeah. Yeah. One thing we did note is that most of the lifts in Scotland, they put a nice big plastic green ring around the floor you want to go to if you want to leave the building, which was generally called the ground floor. But there were a couple instances where it had other weird letters. Sometimes it was floor 0, which was cool. As a computer scientist, I love to count starting at 0 instead of 1. That's just the way that the brain ticks sometimes. So most of them will put the green ring around the go here to leave floor, which is a good idea. They must deal with a lot of tourists. So that's a picture taken much closer to the railing. Yeah, that one's apparently mine. I don't know what to tell you. I guess that's what it looks like if you do suffer vertigo and you've gotten really dizzy and you're about to fall to your death. That's what it's going to look like initially. So try to avoid that, please. And there's 2 of them, because you never know when the first one's not going to work out. We are in our room here. This one came with it's got a little oven. It's got a dishwasher, a fridge. I believe we actually, okay, I'm getting cues now. This just in. It also has a little washing machine under, I think it's from foreground to background. It's washer, oven, clothes washer, dishwasher, and then trash can under the sink. It's got the nice smooth surface cooktop, and then it has one of those fun Nescafe or Nespresso coffee machines. We used that a lot. Every morning they would refill the coffee box and add some little Biscoff cookies. Oh, sometimes we couldn't eat all the Biscoff cookies, so we just stuffed them in our bags so that they would refill all of them. And then I had some on the plane home. I cheated so good. Washer, onion, clothes washer, all the appliances. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. The Biscoffs were good. We made good use of those. And then immediately around this first corner that you can't see, they also, because it's Europe, they had a whole tea service set with the electric kettle and everything. And I believe they even had this room even had a toaster. They had everything. Yeah, all the Nespressos were good too. Master Jedi, was this the hotel where we met the room service at one point? And she asked if we could use some more of the coffees. And I said yes. And she said, oh, well, hang on just a minute. All I have are the caffeine-free ones, and no one wants those. So she went and got the good stuff instead. Yeah, that one? Yeah, that was this one. This was the best hotel. This was our absolute favorite. So they know what's going on there. So yeah, she went and she got us the good ones. There is the master suite. It's a bed. It's a really comfortable bed. I think we took votes, and overall, this was the best bed when you composited all of the parts together. I think the mattress in London was the best? Okay, the mattress in the London was best.
Comforter was the best here.
This one definitely had the best comforter duvet. Which was the best pillows? That
was London.
That was London. London also had the best pillows. But the comforter went a long way. The comforter in London was nice, but it was insanely hot. I woke up with the meat sweats the first night. It was so damn hot. So then I had, for the rest of the time we were there, I would have to constantly be shuffling on and off to maintain a proper comfort temperature. It was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it was effort. And who wants to put in effort when you're on vacation? So this one had a really nice combo of everything. The lights were easier to control from the bedside than the one in London. They got a little weird with their electrical system. The one in Dublin was also a little weird too. It had the master switch for the entire suite mounted there by the bed, with the exception of a couple lights that were mounted over the main window that pointed kind of outward, which didn't make any sense, but whatever. So this was definitely the best room overall. The fun, French doors and easy access to the bathroom suite. I'm pretty sure I didn't take God, I hope I didn't take pictures of the bathroom. Talk about tacky. There's our luggage and the couch with the chaise. It was pretty comfortable. We didn't actually use it too much. And then the little mini coffee table. We didn't use it much as a coffee table, but it was great for plugging in the big K format plug to convert it to US format plugs so that we could plug in all of our recharging devices. And so we'd move it to the end of the chaise, and then there was a plug right next to the radiator here. So we used that a lot. And then you can see the chair and the little dining table that got copious amounts. Damn it! I took a picture of the bathroom. What the hell is wrong with me? At least I didn't get much of the toilet in the frame. Why would I do that? God. And then that is a view out the window. This was...
Oh, damn it, Jedi.
Yeah, I know, exactly, right, Nico? So this faced north. That is actually the building where you can go to look up historical family records. That has a much cooler and much more appropriate name, but I can't remember anything, so I'm just going to make up lies and stuff. But Mama Jedi. There's a long story involved, but one of the requests was we were going is, hey, do some heraldry lookup on her side of the family, because we only recently have we finally tracked down exactly which sept she came from. So we have a little information, but we know the tartan and we know the name. So I don't know what I'm supposed to go look up. We promised, yeah, sure, of course we'll go and do that, not a problem. And look at that, literally right out our window. We could have. We did not, though. It's actually a hell of a lot easier to do it on the internet. So we're going to stick with that. And there was a little bit of construction going on up there. You can see going there. Only at one point were they actually making noise, but it was late afternoon, early evening. It was not during sleeping time, so everything was cool there. That is taking a look at the spire there in the park across the street. It was St. Andrew, right? Not St. Andrews.
I don't know.
I can look at that. Don't push me. I'll look it up. It was St. somebody, whoever, doesn't matter. And they have a cool light rail tram system. So I took a picture of the platform with no train coming. So you're welcome. There's the platform with the train sitting there. Advertising the bridge the bridge to the Forth. We did not go there, but we did go to the Firth of something. We didn't go to the Firth of Forth, which I know is a real thing, but we went to the Firth of something else. We'll deal with that later. Oh, we took the tram down a couple of stops. Technically 2 stops, but they were pretty decent sized. And we were looking for a pub that Master Jedi just like randomly managed to pick out of... Actually, you know what? I don't think it was random. She got a hold of Rick Steves tour guide books. Did that come out of the Rick Steves? This came out of Rick Steves. So we went hunting for an pre-identified pub. Spoiler alert, totally worth it. Hey, here it is. This club is named Chukters, which is a derogatory reference to a resident of the Highlands in the north. I guess it would be like naming your sports bar Rednecks. I think is kind of the way it works out. If you wanted food, you ate in the basement. Because that's, I guess, the way this pub decides to work. So we were down in the basement. It was kind of weirdly dark. It was inconsistently lit, so photos came out weird, but it was nice in the moment there. Expecting the first picture of the pub to be the restroom. We walked past the restroom to get into this room. I used the restroom afterward. I did not take a picture of it. I am aware of one other bathroom photo that I did take that I removed from this album because I was sorely embarrassed of myself, but I missed the fact that this one earlier was in there because of all the green tile. The green tile threw me. It was classy. It made it classy. It hadn't peed in it yet, so it was fine. It was unmolested. You follow a Chukter in the Instagram? Well, there you go. See, it's common. People love it when you offend them. It's good fun, especially in Scotland. Welcome, everybody, to my first official non-US haggis with neeps and tatties. Tatties on the bottom, neeps in the middle, and the haggis on the top. Interestingly, it had a lot more of the oats in it than the American version that I'd had before, but it was still delightful. It's only repulsive if you think about what's in it. If you just eat it, it's awesome. I loved it. The neeps in the middle are rutabaga, if I'm not mistaken. I hadn't had that as part of it before. So it's a good combo. Delightful presentation. I found most of the places where I had this, it was usually served in the little circular, like a muffin ring. I don't know why, but it was a nice presentation. The little sauce around it was really good. Complemented the dish delightfully. And then a salad on top, just like it was Australia. And there's a picture of me with it for scale, so you can tell exactly how big it is. I did not take this picture of myself. This is a Master Jedi photo. Although I could have. The phone does have a timer. Anyway, there's me about to enjoy. Normally I would say, look, I'm still wearing the exact same sweatshirt, but actually I took it off because it got warm. It warmed up a little bit today. It was still cooler than it had been for most of the rest of the week. I might have still worn it, but then I went upstairs. I have a delightful chapeau.
Sometimes I amaze even myself.
I know, right? I have a chapeau in the family tartan, but I'm not sure exactly where it ended up going in my closet.
Wow.
But I stumbled upon the shirt, so I decided, well, it's a long sleeve. So I can't wear that and the hoodie today. So I'm actually not wearing the same hoodie that I wore most days there because it was in the low 50s most of the time. Temperature was okay, but then all of a sudden the wind would pick up and it would get a little chilly. So yeah, I was wearing that a lot there. Nico, you're the first. Congrats. Welcome to the show. Oh, also everybody, because he was on hiatus last week, he's been out for a while. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Coffee Monkey. Oh, he looks like he had a mustache there for a moment. They're still a little warm. It's okay. It's good. Oh, and there's me starting to eat. There might have been a series of about 45 photos taken about a second and a half apart each, but I think these are the only two that got sent to me. There's the Chukter's bar. So if you want to go for yourself, they actually have two locations. We came within a couple blocks of the other one when we went to Farmer's Market. Oops, sorry. There's a spoiler for a little later. But I like this one. This is a fun place. When we go back, we're coming back here. I just got the distinctive affirmative from Master Jedi over there. Oop. God damn. Okay, I can't see it, but god damn it, Nico. Yeah, it was Nico. It was Nico. There's a small chance it could have been Master Jedi, but obviously it still would have been god damn it, Nico. Okay. It's still just the instant. It's not that good. It's not that warm either, but it's still worthy of an because it's coffee. So there you go. Book the Bunker. I think that's what they call their basement where you actually go to eat. You should. It is an honorific. I mean, it was on Bingo, for God's sake. Maybe I'll bring Bingo back eventually. Bingo's a little extra work right now. What I need to do for Bingo, I apologize, I'm going to keep this sidetrack very brief here. What I need to do for Bingo is find a way to get it connected up with my, you can't see it, but I want to be sure I'm pointing the correct direction. It's down there with my Stream Deck. If I could just pop over to the Stream Deck and hit the number to call rather than having to wade through menus, it would be a lot easier to manage. But so far, it's a pain in the ass. So it hasn't returned yet. But one day. So I am standing in front of the bathroom, taking a photo up the stairs here. Please don't turn around and take a picture of the bathroom. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. I just liked a bunch of these signs, just because they're different local. At least there's one for a brewery, one for a gin, a couple breweries. There's some ales. There's a whole mix of alcohols in there. There's the outside of the bar. It's just like right in the middle of a neighborhood. I think everything up above is all residences. And the way that the city blocks, the non-business city blocks, are built in this area of Newtown, it's kind of a big rectangle. And then interior to that, there's a smaller rectangle and then a street that cuts straight through the middle. So it looks almost like a knot, but squared off instead of round. So this is right smack in the middle of the middle. And there's rubbish bins, and that is this is the street that cuts straight through the middle of the middle, and you can see where it turns off in both directions there to go around the sides of the middle. It's a technical term. City planning. Oh, and here's more hypnotizing rugs. The big break in the middle is because they have a set of doors that could close. They're not fire rated doors. I know that's not it. I guess if you wanted to rent a block of like 10 rooms to yourself, you could arrange to have these outer doors closed. Otherwise, they're kind of just decorative. But the carpet makes a nice break for them. It also makes it look like you were walking into a mirror, except that you can't see yourself, so you become very worried that you're a vampire. I know, it's weirdly specific, but it's a real problem. And, oh, wait a minute, gotta go back. There's one more of these, because why not? But screw that, we're moving forward. Full Scottish breakfast? How is this different than a full English breakfast? There are two discs under the toast up there. One's your blood pudding, like full English, but the other is a disc of haggis. Boom. Makes it Scottish right there. It was really good too. And then I thought there was one other minor difference. Maybe not. It may have been when we got to Dublin. When we got to Dublin, it was a straight up... You had access to a buffet that was kind of more continental, and because we got the super fancy package, you could also order off the regular breakfast menu. You could do them both like we were rock stars. And their version of the full Irish breakfast got a little different. Oh, I know. This one was so good. I made sure to order a different breakfast each day. This one didn't have a buffet option. You just ordered off a straight breakfast menu. But super fancy package again. Anything we wanted off the menu. In fact, we could probably have ordered multiple things. Like I said last week, we never would have booked any of these rooms on our own if we'd been left to our own devices, because they were probably... Actually, we know that they were stupid expensive. But through the Costco package, I think we were getting about 50% off, and they were still kind of expensive. But it was Master Jedi's graduation present, so we spent a lot of money. I'm so proud of that. We finally got to do it, because with the collapse of American society, we may not be able to go again for a while. Anyway, there is looking out this is looking out the window on the next floor up with the restaurant. I just like the Daily Planet there in the corner. I don't actually know what that building is. Also, you'll notice they were doing a bunch of fascia repairs on this first building. So they built a whole replica skin around the outside of the scaffolding that kind of looked like what the real building did. Edinburgh in particular, I don't know if it applies to all of Scotland, but definitely Edinburgh, they make a big deal about how they don't have skyscrapers. Depending on who's telling the story, they're either the biggest city in Europe or the only city in Europe of a certain size that doesn't have the skyscrapers, because they want to embrace all of the original architecture and they just make things fit in what they've kind of already got. But then they do lots of repairs on things to keep it in working order. But when they put up the scaffolding, in a lot of these cases, especially, with tourists around, they make them try to look like the original building while they're working on the original building behind it. I thought that was such a cool application for making it not look totally terrible with scaffolding everywhere around town. This would be the next day. So we've had breakfast. We're now walking across the bridge, just over the railing right there. You would fall down onto the glass roof of the train station. So now we're actually walking past the Scotsman, and we're getting out to the Royal Mile. In fact, that is how it is geotagged in this photo that I took. Just the Royal. Actually, it's Edinburgh, the Royal Mile. Good combination there. It could be looking up north, could be looking south. I don't know. Actually, they're east-west. The Royal Mile runs east-west there, so I don't know which way it is. I don't see the sun, so I can't tell you. There's some more of it. I'm trying to decide with the way the location of that traffic signal, am I actually standing in the middle of the street? That's possible, because some of the cross streets were closed off. They were made purely pedestrian, so I may be standing in the middle of a pedestrian crossing. Don't know. I just took pictures. Cool old buildings. When you're from the US, you can go someplace like Universal Studios to Harry Potter World to see their interpretation of what European buildings actually look like, and they're actually pretty damn close. It's like they might have actually modeled something after something else. Literally, the Harry Potter world actually was modeled after a street. And I think it was actually in Edinburgh, but it's not somewhere I went to.
The dining hall is based on the old library.
The dining hall is based on the old library. I'm sorry, this just in. That's in Dublin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, I remembered one thing. That's it for the stream. I remembered the one thing. The Harry Potter dining hall is based off of the old library at Trinity University in Dublin. Spoiler alert, we got pictures of that coming up later. If we make it to Ireland today, it's already 2:48, And we're at picture 45 out of 454. We are not getting to Ireland today. Welcome back next Saturday, everybody, where we're finally going to get to part 3. Anyway, here's the Royal Mile. I didn't measure it. I didn't look it up, but I'm guessing it may literally be a mile. Speak faster. It's actually typically... I always got in trouble for the opposite when I was in speech and debate in high school. I needed to speak slower, except during the actual debate portion. That's where I learned to speak really fast. But everything else, I've always been admonished to speak slower. I think my speaking rate is a little fast for this, but side tangent shinies everywhere right now. So that's where I'm going through. Besides, this is the best part of the entire trip. Ireland can wait till next week. So yeah, look. Oh my God, there's another picture. At some point, they're all gonna look the same. Okay, that one is a quarter of a second later. You can see the person in black with the white hood about to walk in front of the person in the red hoodie. They move only that far in between these shots. I want to blame Master Jedi for this, but nope, this is mine. I must have had a tremor and just double pumped the shutter button. God damn it, Nico. This is where we're getting far. And so now here, they put up the crappy skin, but they still wrapped something around the building while they were working on it, but it doesn't pretend to look like the old building. We've got a couple of delightful anti-vehicle stanchions up, because there are some spots on the Royal Mile where there are cars on the road, and there are some spots where there are not. It's not always well defined which is which, so you got to keep your head on a swivel, people. But they have the traffic signals up, whether it's open or not at the time. There's Great Big Church. It has a name. Master Jedi might know. I don't know. It was particularly appealing because of the red doors, and then up at the very top above the clock, it's got a series of red shutter panels that are nice bright red. With the HDR turned off, you can at least see them on stream. But with the HDR turned on, I can see that the red really pops. But what am I going to do? OBS sucks. The Church of Red. Yeah, that's probably what they call it. That does a little better job of showing how the red actually pops, because this is this is a side door across the street. This is... Come on, give me the name. What's the street you wanted to go down that we didn't actually go down? Grassmarket? Is that right? Okay. So this is where the Grassmarket pulls off down around that corner. There's another church that's related to this first church, so it has the same red doors. So that's where it pops. We didn't actually go down this street, though. Somewhere along the street is where apparently they used to hang everybody. So I was asking Jason Bullman for some tips on where to go while we were there, and that was his number one. There's a whole bunch of distilleries and restaurants along here that have a wonderful view of the hangings if they were to happen to continue on. So it's the literal OG hangout spot. Congratulations, Nico. That's worth a little bit there. That was a good one. There's a piper. He's piping. He was piping for money, which, it's kind of what you do on the Royal Mile. Lots of buskers. Not as many as on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, interestingly enough.
That's awful. That's awful.
Everything is awful, especially if I've said it. There is the entrance to Edinburgh Castle. The tour was sold out for the day, 100%. There was no way to get in by legal methods, so we didn't. We'd also picked up along the way that the best views of the castle are free ones from the outside. Once you go inside, if you are super into history or you go nuts for castle interiors, it's probably worth it. If you want the really good tourist photos, it's not worth the expense to get in there. Don't worry about it. I've actually got some really cool pictures of the castle taken from the museum, which is kind of back up over the left shoulder here on their shot. We get to that on the last day of the trip. We didn't get our flight from Edinburgh to Dublin. I didn't leave until like 8:30 at night, So we had the entire last day to actually do tourist crap, while the best doorman in history, Joseph, kept an eye on our bags. In fact, he did such a good job of keeping an eye on our bags that we had one extra bag that kind of tried to come along with ours when we were claiming them from him at the end of the day. But we're proper and respectable, so we made sure he understood that that one was not ours. We didn't steal it. Team Joseph. Oh, I want to make that a command now. Here's a little bit closer view. There's a dude in the foreground just doing a happy pose. Not intentional, but it worked out good. So that's a good scale for the castle there. If you turn around and look the other way, they're building some sort of arch cover thing there so that a couple kick-ass cranes, having played a lot of SnowRunner and Roadcraft, I was terrified to get too close to these cranes because everyone knows they fall over like that for no reason whatsoever. But I kept my distance most of the time. And there's a ice cream truck set up right in front. I've noticed a theme in a lot of the UK spots here. There's always an ice cream truck nearby. And that is turning 90 degrees, just kind of facing up toward the bay to the north, although I'm not really positive. Yeah, there's a tiny bit of bay. Very, very tiny. But it's a bunch of buildings. Buildings are awesome. And since I moved over a little bit, I took a picture of the cannons. They fire a cannon at 11 a.m. off the castle. We were there, not there, but we were in the vicinity around 11. But I think every time we were, things were going on at the time. At one point in time, we were at the parade that we're going to get to in a little bit as well. So I don't think we could hear the cannon over the parade. So we never got to hear the cannon. But I've watched the YouTube video, so it's almost the same as being there. Hey, look, it's me, the Scotsman. Boom. Nailed it right there. That's the photo. And then suddenly we're back at the castle with the ice cream truck. It's the castle's ice cream truck, though. So they've got their own. That other one. That other picture of me. These are all in the order that they appeared on my phone. So that one of me back at the Scotsman, what will have happened is I took a picture to the north looking at the bay. Master Jedi will then have messaged me the picture of me that she took earlier. So it came into my phone and got added to my photo reel then. And then I turned 135 degrees to take a close-up picture of the ice cream truck because, like I've said, it's the thing I do sometimes. And so that's how that ended up in the middle going back in time. And then when she accidentally sent me the dump of all like 400 or 500 of her photos, those actually appear in time after the rest of the vacation because she sent those to me once we had gotten back home. So that's what made it a little easier to try to filter this down to only 454 Scotland photos instead of 800 or 900 of them. Wow. You forgot the picture of me? I can go back. Yeah, arrow keys go both ways. This is easy, Nico. I can do this. So that's me. And that is an ice cream truck. There will be a quiz later. There, just to prove we were on the Royal Mile. We were at the tartan weaving mill, which is nice. Oh, you just caught me. I thought I had a perfect, but nope, that's just sandwich, not me. There's the Scotch whiskey experience. We talked about this with Dan a lot. This is actually also one of the Bullman's recommendations. Neither one of us really drink, so we didn't bother with it. Sorry about that. So I have no idea what the experience was, but I did have the experience of taking a picture of it. And there's a closer shot of a lower Royal Mile sign just to prove something. And then there's the Piper again without the big crowd. Oh. This is what happens when it's a video. It says, oh, you've told me not to do HDR, but look, this is an HDR video. You really want to see it in HDR, don't you? And even though I've said no, here we are. Oh, there's a map of where it appears. I'm actually trying to find the play button. As long as we've done this, but look how bad it washes it out. Nope, come back. Give me the play control. Do it.
If I was
Rob
an orca,
Saw.
I'd be having your sub baby right now.
orcas are pregnant for 17 months? Or is it the 9 months? And why does it keep telling me everybody's subbed for 9 months and, oh, by the way, they've been subscribed for different numbers of months? What is going on with Twitch today? Anyway, welcome in, Rob. Oh, there he is with his robots. You definitely got to go check out the Rob Saw stream when he's doing his robot builds. He's become the master of the air gun, the airbrush. Wow, that was really hard for me to remember what the hell the name of an airbrush was. If you want to watch a man paint a bunch of spoons,
that is Twitch's way of saying you need to stream for 9 straight months.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Last Thursday, work has gotten crappy. So last Thursday might not have happened anyway, but I had a nasty rumbly in my tumbly. So I actually ended up quitting work a little bit early. And I didn't stream. I didn't quite want to barf, but I felt horrible. And then Friday, I traded that in for a mind-splitting headache instead, which actually might have been a little bit of an improvement. And now today I'm fine. Okay, let me get back over here. Let's see if I can actually get the play button to come up. Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, here we go. We're going to play. Boom, done. He played. So there you go. There's a little bit of a bonus video. Is it not going to let me advance to the next picture now? Am I doomed? Is everything here ruined? This is why I can't have nice things. Okay. Never mind. I made it work. So there he is, up close, looking right down the barrel of the camera. You shouldn't do that, sir. And then there's it's Europe. There's churches everywhere. So that's a different church. It's not the red one. This is the Church of Grey instead. And this is one of those spots where some spots there's just regular civilian vehicle traffic. Some spots there's service vehicles allowed, and then some spots are pedestrian only. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. I loved this. It's your Highland Coo Cafe. We didn't actually go. Actually, I don't think it was open. In fact, yeah, all the chairs are stacked up. So it wasn't open. We absolutely would have gone there if it was. But there's a little twisty street that works down the hill from the Royal Mile back over across the train tracks and then over to the Newtown side of things. The one other thing that you will learn, and Master Jedi has found a ton of memes about it, is when Google says you're 3 minutes away from something in Edinburgh, what it forgets to point out is that it's actually 3 miles of 45-degree incline hills the entire way, both directions. The Church of Grey, more depressing and less angry compared to the Church of Red, but not as emo as the Church of Black. Yeah, that's exactly how that works. Oh yeah, there were actually, the day that we arrived was a voting day in Scotland. So we had a whole bunch of signs up all over the place. This was actually the next day after, but imagine that they didn't instantly rip down all of their signs. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I think this was a youth assistance facility as well. So there was a lot of outreach signs. So I just took a picture of the way that humanity can sometimes actually be delightful. And then that is a picture over the top of the train station back at just a big, square, cool-looking building with a clock on top. Yeah, it's just cool. I'd go to the Church of Black. Well, you can go to any church you want, son. And here we go, the emo rocket. Is that what they call it?
Scott Memorial.
Well, yeah, I know it's the Scott Memorial, but
It's called
the Goth Rocket.
Gothic Rocket.
The Gothic Rocket. That is its official name. It is a memorial to Mr. Scott of Star Trek, as far as you know. Master Jedi is trying to correct me, but I'm not going to get it right. If you're really interested, just go look it up. I think this is actually Mr. Scott right here. The Gothic Rocket. It was dirty. It was a very dirty statue. Or building. Spire. Construction. But yeah, it lived through the Industrial Revolution, so it is covered in soot, like most everything else. Prince's Street Gardens is actually where it appears. I think that is. I think that's poor Mr. Scott covered in seagull shit. That's one of my swords. They love Mr. Scott so much they named the whole land after. I know, right? Except that I think this Mr. Scott. I think he had 2 T's, but they lost one of them when they named the land after him because sometimes you lose things, especially me. So yeah, there's proof of the seagull. It was demonstrating right there exactly what he does on poor Mr. Scott's head. But at least I got his rocket in the background too. So like that rug, it tied the whole room together. So yeah, you can see the systemic discoloration that gives it character and charm. And then it got a little bit lighter when I put my thumb in the frame. Don't pay any attention to that. That's Mr. Scott with Anubis. I think that's Anubis. Much like London, they had some signs begging you to not climb on the goddamn statues because tourists are monsters. But I don't think I took a picture of that one. This is the Prince's Street Gardens. This is kind of looking away from the Gothic Rocket. It's just a really pretty park. And then the train runs just the other side of the bushes down in the hole. And look at that. Another ice cream truck. It is weird how many ice cream trucks are around. Maybe it's because I don't hang out in enough tourist spots here in Portland. I'm not sure I could tell you of a single ice cream truck in Portland, though. I can tell you where we got food cart pods everywhere, but I don't know how many of them actually have ice creams. Probably a few. Nowhere near as much as in the UK. It's identified this as being at the National. I think this one was a gallery, as opposed to being a straight up museum. But it's right next to the rocket. And then delicious Scottish hog roasts at the Oink. I had to take a picture of the Oink. I will probably never forgive myself for not actually going in and getting a delicious Scottish hog roast. The whippy ice cream. I do know about whippy ice cream, but I didn't have any this time around. But yeah, there's a whole lot of, and I think it's because everyone in the UK is used to lower temperatures than we get here. So the idea of having ice cream and when it's 50 degrees out isn't as weird as it might be here. Although honestly, if you love ice cream, who cares what the temperature is? I've had ice cream in a blizzard before. I mean, sometimes that's just the way things go, but I think there's a lot more interest unless you're at a carnival, and then there's ice cream trucks everywhere here, and then it's usually about 100 then, and I do mean Celsius. So I didn't go to get a delicious Scottish hog roast, but I did do several other food related things that almost made up for it. This is the number one right here, the Stack and Still. I'm going to beg your forgiveness, Miss Moon, for not making you come over here with us for breakfast because timing just never worked out. But they are the Pancake Pioneers. We actually went here for lunch. Totally worth it. They're in a little slightly underground building right next to an Italian restaurant because that is how it goes. And they have Stack Wars. I mean, I found a way to work a Star Wars thing out of the deal. I don't actually know what the Stack Wars were, but it doesn't matter what they were. I took a picture. And also there's 0 tolerance for dog poop. So did I take a picture of the bathroom, but I forgot to get a picture of the food. Ooh, you know what? I will have gotten a picture of the pancakes, but they will have been the pancakes with Master Jedi in the background. So they have had to be expunged from this album.
I send it to you.
Master Jedi has one that you were sending to me now?
Send it to you. Yeah.
Okay. There may be one coming. As soon as I receive it. Oh, actually, maybe did you already send it?
No,
Is this what I have right here?
type, please.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, that's a fun picture. Is there a decent way for me to get this on stream here right now? If I do this. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Don't, no. No. Oh, God, it's opening it in GIMP. That's not going to do anybody any good. We don't need to edit the photo there. Oh, God, I can't. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, I've ruined everything. I can't see anything anymore. It's all gone. Keep the embedded working space. I don't know what that means. I'm being assaulted. I'm being oppressed. Okay, I got out of here. We'll figure out how to work this photo later. We'll come back to it. We'll get there. Titch! Have you seen Scotland before? Look, I found it. Also, dog poop. Zero tolerance in Scotland. Everyone keep that in mind if you take your pets. Never. I didn't think so. And look at that. We got the UK contingent all showing up for photo hour. Oh, look, it's not even midnight there. You got plenty of time. Plus, I got 51 minutes before we're raiding out. Oh, I need to get that back up. So, Master Jedi has sent me a picture of the shrimp dish that we had at the Thai place. When we get to the Thai place, if I don't have it in there, I'll make sure I'll sidetrack over to it. And I think she has sent me... Oh, she has sent me a picture of the pancakes as well. Okay, let's figure out. How do we do this? How do we do this? We're taking a pancake detour, everybody. I think the easiest way for me to get the pancakes in is I go to my phone and I save both the pictures here to my photo reel. Okay, that's done. Then I come back to the photos over here. I'm going to come out here. I'll be with you. I'll be with you. What am I? I'm at photo 82. Okay, everyone remember 82. I got a photo of Danny Trejo in here. If you guys want to check out that. Oh wait, I saw it. It's in recently saved. Here we go. Okay. Boom. Pancakes. Strawberry mascarpone and a caramel sauce? Why can I remember that?
Buckwheat ones.
Oh, and they're that's right. Master Jedi, she got the buckwheat pancakes. I got the straight up average Joe pancakes just because, if you're going to try them the first time, you got to do them. It was so good. I think mine I got Nutella. Did I get Nutella and blueberries, or did I just go straight up Nutella and whipped cream? It was good. They were such good pancakes. I got a single pancake. I think, she did too. We got single pancakes with a light topping. This is a light topping. And then we also got their overnight oatmeal. It was very muesli-like, which went over big with me. I don't think we got a picture of that, but that is that. And then where did my photos go? Because it's convenient to get to, that is the shrimp dish that we had at the best Thai place in Edinburgh, recommended by Joseph. Its name is Doozit, in case I forget when we get to there. So everyone be sure to go look that up. It is kind of on the edge of Newtown. And then did you just send me another photo? Master Jedi is always totally derailing all of these photo streams, all 2 of them. Hang on, I may have to force it to refresh because I just pushed it to my phone. Let me come back here so that I can do a refresh. Oh, there it is. Got it. Boom. So there's some granola, a banana, and blueberries on her overnight oats in this big old trough of a bucket. It was so good. Definitely need to go back for that. And the rest of the country, as long as we're there, I guess we'll be willing to go back and look at all of it. Let me go back. Oh, hey, it actually saved my place over here. Boom, back to the dog poop. It was so good. And we're bringing this back to the top so I can go back and control. And we're walking. This is Circus Place. There are a bunch of different streets, all named Circus. This is the famous one. I'd never heard of it, but the Rick Steves book said that this was kind of the place to go. It was super extra scenic. It's a bunch of people that I bet are absolutely sick and tired of tourists just wandering up and down their street. It's wide enough to support bi-directional traffic, but it is one way only, probably because of the fact that there are constantly a bunch of damn tourists standing in the middle of the cobble taking pictures all over the place. That one looks much better, but they put a lot of effort to make it look really nice. Even without HDR, the colors still look really good on that one. There's just going to be a ton of these pictures. These I can actually pick up the pace. That's looking backwards. Nice clock tower back there. Everyone loves a good clock tower. That's a nice semicircular building around an actual circle, which isn't named Circus, which is kind of fun. But that's just looking over the wall at that really tall building. And this one just kind of meanders its way through here. And then there's Edinburgh Castle up on the hill. Just about the worst possible photo I could get of it, but at least I managed to time it in between those two trees that are too close together for this purpose. It'll get better. Sometimes you're on a moving vehicle. I must have been on a bus at this point because I can see both sets of tram lines. So this must have been, oh, hey, I'm on the bus. We're moving. But oh, look, castle. Snap. And just hope I got something. There's a lot of these in here. And this says we're on Rose Street. This may actually be at the Thai restaurant because it's inside kind of this residential area. And they did have some windows open in the back. Although we went to so many different places. But I think this is looking out the backside of a business. But look how delightful it is. There is a better picture. Back on Prince's Street. That is Thomas Guthrie himself right there. Not Mr. Scott. Not covered in bird foul either. Congratulations on having a nice clean statue of yourself. Now that is a good looking castle up there. And there's another picture of it just in case you want the entire plinth that Mr. Guthrie lives on. There's a picture of Mr. LA standing in front of a bus with the Gothic rocket and a tower in the background. Probably had a reason for taking that. Must have had a reason because I did it again. What's wrong with me? This was a fun feature of the hotel we stayed in. Every evening, depending on your floor and everything, I think it says somewhere between like 3 and 5 p.m. Well, it's called the Wandering Barman, but it was gender neutral. We had a couple of different bar persons who would come by. They just wheel a bar full of alcohol, a rolling cart of alcohol through the halls, knock on your door, ask if you'd like to get loaded, and they'll sell you something. Just put it on the room tab. We were never there when they came. Actually, we may have been there once when they came by, but it was a nap period for us, so we didn't get up to check the door. So I primarily took a picture of this because I knew that if our good buddy Dan Servo had come along, he would have been perched in the room from 3 to 5 every day just waiting for this cart to go by. I was really interested in this because I don't know what it means. Don't stand in the lift when the birds attack, I think is what this stands for. Because otherwise, I really don't know. Realistically, it's probably don't take the elevator in case of fire. That would make sense, but that's really weird looking fire to me, but what would I know? Don't use the lift. Okay, yeah, that's the only thing that really kind of made any sense to me, but I liked it better the notion that if you get in the lift there, then the birds are going to peck at the cables and drop you to the basement. That's what it means now. High winds in the shaft. Yeah, that tends to be the problem there. This is where was the farmer's market?
That was in Leith.
Leith. That's it. This is where we've taken the bus. No, we took the tram pretty close to Leith, and then we were just going to walk the rest of the way because, there's cool stuff to see. So there's a boat sitting in the canal. We took a picture of it. You're welcome. There were a couple of ducks out in the water. I guess we're from Oregon, so we need to take pictures of ducks anytime we just encounter them. That's how that worked. There's the ducks and the boat at the same time. Depends on what you've eaten. Yeah. Especially that full English / Scottish / Irish breakfast with the weird UK and Ireland obsession with the baked beans. Or, yeah, I guess they are baked beans. They're just baked in a different way than the US typically bakes its beans, but they're close. They're still Heinz. So yeah, that's to prove that ducks and boats can coexist. # however, birds aren't real. I mean, it's a TARDIS and a stormtrooper both together serving pizza. I had to get that picture. I did not go in because we didn't need to eat at this point. So I don't know how good the pizza was or was not, but come on. I mean, it's nerd pizza. It's got to be good. I'm sorry, it's geek pizza. Hey, we went to a farmer's market and there's dogs, and Master Jedi's hand and phone have made the photo. Congratulations. You all now know what her phone looks like. Actually, I think you did last week anyway, so that's good. So yeah, we went here. Very adorable little market. Similar in many ways to the market that we went to this morning here on Bull Mountain. The Leith Market. Every Saturday, 10 a.m. until p.m., whenever everyone gets kind of tired, just feels like going home. So I guess that's the way that it works. Right here in Dock Place. And you can't have a farmer's market without fresh churros. Even in the UK, it's so good to know that some things are universal. Also, we didn't actually get any of this dude's churros, which was a mistake. I'm going to admit that now. I probably should have done that, but we didn't. Why are we looking at some buses here? That may have just been, hey, look how stark white that building is compared to the gray of most of the others. I probably didn't take a picture of a bunch of buses, but I could have. I just thought the books Shy Trans Banshee and Bored Gay Werewolf were the coolest titles for books. So I took a picture of this just for that reason. I should go see if they're available on Kindle Unlimited. I mean, I'm fascinated at what kind of plot lines we might get into on these books, but I just thought that was fun. Ancient Robot Games, again, a place that looked super cool. I didn't actually go in. In fairness to myself, this was an intentional choice. If I was to go into that store, I'd start buying games, and we had a very distinct weight limit. We had 2 very distinct weight limits. We're going to get to the weird one when we get to the flight to Dublin. That's going to be a spoiler. Everyone knows that's going to be next week when we get to... Actually, you know what? The flight to Dublin will be part of the Scotland routine. But it was Aer Lingus, the Irish airline, that is the one that got weird. So we're going to get there. But in either event, we didn't have enough weight allowance for me to actually buy games. So I managed to keep myself out of there. I think at the end of the day, if you didn't count 5 kilo of shortbreads, I think I got myself a little matching tartan sample. We went to a tartan place. I'm not sure if I got a picture of it. I know I got a picture next door to it, where we got some tartan fabric. Unlike buying a scarf, it's a scarf and that's all that it's going to be. This was kind of a very large fabric swatch, so you could actually do something with it. So I got a don't tell her, but I got a couple for Mama Jedi in both her and my father's side tartans. So she could make table napkins, or I don't know what the hell she's going to do with it, but we got some, so she stuck with it once we actually remembered to give it to her. So we got a bunch of that, and that may be the only non-edible souvenir I got this time, because my grandparents made this pilgrimage once upon a time, and I got a bunch of the memorial stuff out of that. And So I didn't have to buy a whole lot of crap, which is kind of handy. Which is not to say we didn't spend a lot of money on this trip, but I didn't buy a bunch of junk that I got to figure out what to do with. That is a picture down A Street. Yep. There's a picture on the bus. I think we were on our way to the Botanical Gardens. I think that's how we comboed this up. We end this day by meeting back up with Miss Moon, but I don't think we got a picture until the next day. But we did get waffles. That is a picture of Sherlock Holmes' butt. The real man. We'll come back to him. We'll come back around to him a little bit. This is back on... Oh, this is the bank vault / bar in the basement of our hotel. This is taking some of the steps down. You can see how this used to be a definitely kind of industrial building by all of the nice brick support columns in there. And I think all of the other pictures that I got down there included Master Jedi in them, so I'm afraid that those have been edited for time. Now we're up to the good stuff. Welcome, everyone, to the second annual Tartan Parade. We got here just after the parade, which started up at the top of the hill on the Royal Mile. It worked its way down about a third of a mile, and then took that twisty street I had pictures of earlier. It took it down, crossed the bridge over the train tracks, ended up here, approaching Prince's Street, and then it turned and it walked up the grass to the Gothic Rocket, and then that's where it disbanded, and everyone would have to run to get out of the way before the rest of the bands and dancers came through. So I got a bunch of still shots. We're going to do a whole bunch of parade here. There's a parade coming. The grandstand with the marshals and all the judges and everything was just in front of that tour bus. So we were very close. So that's where they stood to do all of their big song and dance routines. And then they would march up past us. So a couple of these, I got a couple of pictures. I tended to get more video down that way, but the video presentation is going to come later on. So there's a school. There's another picture of the school. We're going to have some duplicates because I would tap the shutter too many times. Some duplicates because Master Jedi texted me a few things as the parade was going on, so those have gotten mixed in. So we're going to jump back and forth in time. Yeah, we got 3 of those. We got a pipe band. We got dancers. Dancers like you wouldn't believe in this parade. Imagine that. For some reason, Tampa, Florida showed up. So congrats to them. Although, I guess we were there. Dinosaurs. I went to Dan Servo's Discord. Well, there was a big break in the parade because something had kind of stopped. So no one was going past us. No one was performing at the grandstand there. So I hopped on Discord real quick. I was just going to publish kind of a quick picture saying, hey, I'm at a parade. And our good friend Old Bacon Face happened to post something up making a comment about dinosaurs that I'm 90% certain was purely coincidental. 10% I think he's psychic sometime. And so immediately after he posted that, the parade picked back up, and here came dinosaurs. So I took a couple of quick pictures, and I posted one back in the chat. I only included one here in the album, and then the Scotties went by. I gotta get a bunch of Scotties. I gotta get their picture taken care of here. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna put a great big Obi right there in the chat. So we got a few pictures of the Scotties, and then we got some band leaders still leading the band. I think that's Master Jedi and I combining for a bunch. And then we get the Scottish dancers coming through. How do you know they're not Scottish? Because they're not all whiny, keeping their hands pinned at their sides. They're throwing the hands up. And then we move on to whatever that is. There's a great big dog. I don't know what they represented. It didn't matter because there's a great big dog in a coat. Always got to take a picture of a great big dog in a coat if I get the chance. And then we got the Visit Butte or Butt. It could be Butt. I don't know. It would be Butte if it had 2 T's. It might be Buddy. I don't know. Wherever it is, you're supposed to go visit it. I don't think we did though. Let me bring this up a little higher so I can read it here. That's somebody's school. More dancers. I got a little closer. And this must then be in the middle of the parade. Master Jedi texted me a photo from down in the vault back at the hotel. The first one is right. Nope, I already lost track of what. I don't even know what the first one was first of. And oh, this is right next door to the hotel. So this, Butte. I said it at least 6 different ways. I think Butte is the first one I said. So this is the Royal Bank of Scotland. This is the remaining kind of historical version of the bank next door. And then we were in an older wing of the bank that is now the hotel. So this was our neighbor. I don't know. I actually don't know if it was an active working bank or not. I got the impression it wasn't, but it could have been. But it's not like it had a ATM in the foyer that was causing traffic or anything. But it looked awesome, and it's got a statue like everything else. Portsburg. The building in the back was probably something important. What was it? I don't know. I should have taken a picture. Sometimes I'll take a picture of a thing, and then in the next picture I'll pan down to some sort of a plaque that tells you what the thing is. I'm betting that won't be the case here. This might actually be across the street from Napier's, because we went there. We tried to go there a couple times. We may have only made it once. Yes, that was at Napier's, because we're going to get to Bobby in just a minute. But they had that little tea mug at Napier's. There is a friend of the Servoverse, Elf Tarot. The Elf Falafel reminded me of their name, so I took a picture of it to share with them later. I'll probably never actually get to, but look at that. A lunch deal for $5. You can't beat that. Although, I guess you can because we didn't actually do it, but shawarma would have been good. But we did get kebab. Here we are, Greyfriars, Bobby. It's functional over there. It's a pub. It's whatever. Who cares? Because there is Bobby right out front. And yes, I did boop the snoot to keep it nice and clean and shiny. You give us any dog story, and Master Jedi and I are there. This is just a block down from the Napiers, where she did load up on a few lotions and notions and potions, and has been so delighted by them that we just placed an international shipping order with them. And let's just say I'm impressed that they're actually still shipping to the U.S. because no one else is anymore. But the shipping was kind of stunning, but worth it. It's a good product. So there's a slightly more head-on shot. There's a whole story to it. I guarantee you I will not do justice to it, so just go Google Greyfriars Bobby. It's a good story. This is Baba Sheep. We actually bought a couple of sheep things here. And then that... Yeah, it's a church. It's a churchy building. There's a bunch of those. I think this one was right near the National Museum, but not the museum itself. There you go, Baba Sheep. Just because it's not actually the Highlands, but it's still Scotland. So yeah, there's sheep. Where I got robbed is, I'm not positive we saw a single coup the entire time we were there. Sheep everywhere, but we didn't actually get any coups. But I got to take a picture of a pretend coup, so that was super important. So yeah, they had the stuffed versions everywhere. And then a sheep with a traffic cone. Traffic cones are very dear to my heart. Mum's comfort food is right across the street, I guess. Once again, took a picture, thought it was cool, didn't go. The Union of Genius. I mean, obviously they built a building just for me, but I didn't go. Yes, the traffic cone. Someday I'll play a video of one of the traffic cones I got. The Ghost Bus Tours. I think this one I actually did take the picture just so that I would have the URL there, so I might remember to check on it later, but this whole trip got so jam-packed with stuff that I never had a chance to go back and look it up, but I can now just to see what was on the tour. And yes, I happen to know this ahead of time. I took 2 pictures of it because I wasn't sure the first one came out. I actually scrubbed the second one out of the album so that I didn't have to one thing I decided not to torture you with. And then I 100% Heart Scotland, so I took a picture of this building. We didn't go to buy our tchotchkes here. We hit plenty of other tchotchke places though. Black Moon Botanica. It struck me as the name of a place that Master Jedi would like to go or wanted to remember for later, so I got a picture of it. There's also the Thistle Street Bar. La Petite Raison Wine Bar and a street. I think this may have been on the way to the Thai place. This looks like next door to it. Black Sheep Coffee. I'm a big proponent. We didn't go to this one, but we met Miss Moon at a Black Sheep Coffee later on. And then there was a certain juxtaposition between... There weren't as many Starbucks as I was afraid that there would be, but there were plenty of Starbucks. I did not go to a Starbucks the entire trip. I think I brought this up on the last stream, that there was one point where I finally decided, okay, maybe I'll go just to see if there's anything different on the menu. And as I was bringing up my phone to bring up the Starbucks app to try to do a pre-order or at least pay for it on my Starbucks card, they had a big sign out front that says, "We don't take Starbucks cards." So that, well, guess what? You lost me. Never got to go to one, but I did go to Black Sheep Coffee. There's the Royal Society of Edinburgh. I love the building, so that one I know I took a picture of it for that reason. And then there's a dude statue in the middle of the street right there. There's the dude. Erected in 15, 16, 17, 1831, it says. That was a minute ago. Oh, I don't mean to spoil the rest of the album for you there. But Paddington's coming. There's a Hard Rock because everyone has a Hard Rock. We didn't even cross the street to go look in this one. They really aren't that good. So we didn't go. But I took a picture of it anyway. I've got a picture of a Hard Rock in Sydney. I've got a picture of a Hard Rock in Auckland. I think it's Auckland. And I got a picture of the one in Vegas. So I collect pictures of Hard Rocks. That's it. There's Paddington eating a sandwich. There's me not eating a sandwich, but keeping Paddington company. This is in that St. Andrew's Square right out in front of the hotel. Didn't even know he was over here because he was on the opposite side from where we were. And then there's a lion. This one did not have a sign telling dumbasses not to climb on it, but you'll notice there actually was no one climbing on it, so good on you. We went into the Black Sheep Coffee. I took a picture of the front counter at a Black Sheep just because it's somewhere new. Because it's coffee. Honestly, it's because it's coffee. That's why we did that. This is the one that we had coffee and a snack with Miss Moon and Patter. And we got a little oatmeal picture. Do they actually have this oatmeal
at the hotel?
Okay, this is back at the hotel. Oh, have we jumped to the next? Oh, we've jumped to the next morning. I guess if I'd looked at the date, that says May 9th. That says May 10th. You can't see it. It's just me seeing things. Don't worry about it. We went back to where the Sherlock Holmes statue was. So I got a picture of the Conan Doyle right there with it. So that ties the two together. I wish I got a picture of the two of them in the same shot. I did get a picture of the front of Sherlock this time around, at least. But I screwed up getting a picture of them together. I don't know why. I don't know why I took this picture. I don't know why. But apparently there's a ghost story called 222 that at that point was still coming. Today is the last day. So if you want to go see this, oh wait, it's already 11:38 p.m. The last show is probably over. So I'm sorry if you didn't already see it. It's too late to go see 222, but I bet it was a blast. There is a bookstore that Master Jedi wanted to go to that's just tucked around this corner, but I took a picture over there because it just looked nice. And then I took a closer picture. I think that was an active ambulance going through the intersection. We discovered that the ambulance sirens across UK and Ireland are way louder than the US ones, but they're not as obnoxiously flashy. And my working theory is because European designed and manufactured cars probably do better soundproofing, so the sirens need to be louder to punch through that. Where in the US, if you've got an import car, it's super extra quiet and you can never hear emergency services coming. But if you've got a crappy American car, you can hear them no problem. So that's my working theory. I'm going to stick with that. That was proof that we were about to walk down a hill, but we were going to take the bus back up the hill. Yes, that was actually the case. We've walked down here. And I think this is the point where we're finally going to go to the botanical gardens, because there was a little shopping street that was down that hill. It turns out the shopping was kind of crappy, but I did get an escape room physical book that has a little spinny wheel built into the front cover. That's a little encoding machine. So I've got that by my bedside. Eventually I'm going to read through. It's a Sherlock Holmes mystery, but I haven't done it yet, because work sucks, in case I forgot to mention that earlier. Here we have made it. We've made it to the botanical garden. Pants need protecting, I'm sure is what that says. Oh, no, wait, it says plants need protecting. Again, don't mind the fact that my finger's in the way. At least it's not in the way of the sign. I realized after I took the first picture that all it said was ants need protecting, which is still accurate. I took a picture of the map of the garden so that if I needed to figure out where I was or where we were going, I would actually have the reference map on my phone ready to go. There was a reason I took this picture. Here we are. We're strolling through the garden. We're walking. We're gardening. Lovely little pond. Nice flowers. Also nice flowers. That's the top view. That's the side view. And a bumbler. We got a bumbler in that shot. And then the bumbler moved onto the flower. And then the bumbler moved a tiny bit on the flower. And then it's a robot mower with a docking station. I have seen these before, but I'd never seen one at a public space like that before. I got a lot of bee butts. I probably actually deleted a couple of bee butts just so that they wouldn't overwhelm everybody. But yeah, I got some bees. But yeah, I love that it had its own little parking garage for recharging, sheltered from the rain. That seagull was an absolute dick. Luckily, this was a group of French students. They were not having it with this seagull, so it was fun to watch them go back and forth. They would take turns chasing each other. It was kind of funny. No one actually got injured. The seagull did come to check us out real quick, but we didn't have any food, so it went back over to the kids once it was done with us. And then that's just really nice grass. And there is a little pagoda down there past the lily pads. And that's from the pagoda looking back up at the bridge we were just on. And then this is one of those cases where I took a picture of the thing from both directions, and then I took a picture of the sign that relates to it. It is the China Pavilion. And then there's a whole bunch of them little white flowers out there. Still there. This was the main kind of visitor center. The lift upstairs, you could go in, you could push the button, it would hum for a little while, it would ding, and then it would open the doors, but you would not have gone anywhere. So the only way to get upstairs was to take the spiral staircase. Master Jedi had injured her knee at this point, so we actually didn't go up the stairs. We don't know what was up there. Actually, I do know what was up there. There was a cafe and a little bit more shopping, so we also decided it wasn't worth bothering to go to, because there was another cafe we did go to that was kind of the next gift shop over. It was up this slight hill, so this one was more doable. This is standing at the cafe, looking at a little fountain. Here's the other cafe, the Terrace Cafe. It was delightful. There were 2 people working the counter. One of them was dead inside. Naturally, that's the one that we got to take our order. She would rather have been any place on this earth than actually at work that day. But she did get the order correct, so I want to give her credit for that. And then there's a funky looking, slightly fat bird who is just watching us. And then we're walking. That is a purple toothwort, in case anybody was curious. That is the gate. I think this is technically the back gate. We came in the back way because that's where the bus picked up and dropped off. But that is their fancy-ass gate on our way out. Oh, it's the east gate, which is the backside. And at this point, we have now met with Miss Moon and Patter. We've all gone for kebab. Suck it, Paladol. I know he's not watching, but if he is, I got kebab with Miss Moon before you could ever manage it. And we're in Scotland, so we had Iron Brew. Iron Brew. It's actually really good. I got my kebab in a box. There's probably a reason for it. Doesn't matter what the reason was. It was good. And, so yeah, we met. We had the full day out. By the time we got the bus back, we met Miss Moon real quick. We went out for kebab. Then we hit the Black Sheep Coffee, where we got Norwegian waffles with our coffee as a little bit of a dessert. I don't understand how I didn't get a picture of that. But then at that point, everybody was tired. This was about a 5-hour drive up to Edinburgh for Miss Moon. Although you did get a chance to meet with, was it Chucky and Titch? I'm actually super bummed out that the way that things got planned out is I didn't get to hang out with everybody. But next time, because I guarantee you, we're coming back. Yes. It's not this weekend, but we're coming back. Master Jedi has a huge thing going on with work for Juneteenth on the 19th. And so then we're taking the plan is to take a 3-day weekend after that Friday. I need to go see if my work is going to stop being horrible for that Monday so I can take it off too. It may not. I don't think we're done being horrible until the Wednesday after. In any event, we're not going back to Scotland then, but it's coming. Trust us. So this is the next morning. I got the pancakes with the bacon on top. Good bacon. This is more American-styled bacon, but it's extra thick and meaty, like it's a European, or in my case, also Australian counterpart. So it worked really well on here. This is the best shot I could get of the Kelpies. This fence was only almost exactly that long. And the time it took me to go, oh, perfect picture lined up. You can see them at everything. And then actually going tap to take the picture. This fence popped up as Patter was driving us along. So I realized, oh, damn that fence. And then we got a little bit farther along, and now there's a brick wall. So that's all I got. That's it for the Kelpies. If you really want to see what they look like, I'm afraid you're going to have to go to the internet or drive there yourself. At this point, I don't know how we tricked them into it, but Miss Moon and Patter are driving me to my homeland up around Loch Lomond near Glasgow. Okay, I'm not even going to pretend that was appropriate accent, but as long as I say it funny, that's all that counts. So we talked them into driving us over. So we have hit the motorway. We are cruising. There's just going to be a bunch of pictures of countryside, because to this point, the only countryside we've actually seen has been on the train coming up mostly through England. So now we're seeing Scottish countryside, the real countryside. Oh, man. We're only halfway through the photos and I'm almost out of time. So, week 3, we'll finish Scotland. Week 4, we're going to Dublin. Wow, I made this take forever. I love this trip so much. I'm just going to keep talking about it. And then when we do go back to Scotland again, then I'm going to have a 7-week... I'm going to have a full TED Talk set up. It's going to go on forever. It's going to be... Actually, what I should probably do next week is just start early so I can talk longer. In any event, here we are. There's... I'm sitting on that side of the car and I'm not driving. It's still weird. I know all about it. I drive Euro Truck Simulator all the time this way. It isn't a big deal, but it's a big deal. So yeah, here's some signs. They just point different ways to things. I don't think there was anything really special about all of that. There was some consideration that I had given to actually doing a live stream, because the Twitch app on my phone will allow me to go live. I don't think I can see chat while I'm streaming. I'm not positive about that. I don't think so. I know all of the extra stuff. You know, it's not through OBS, so I would get none of this. It would just be a camera on me and everything. But Captain on deck, welcome in, Captain E-Rock.
Weird.
Yeah, they do. I know. In the UK, they have signs that point to things as well.
God damn it.
Although these don't tell you how many miles it is to the destination. Just, yeah, you want to go to Erskine Bridge? Pfft, it's that way. Just go. You'll find it. Country's not that big. Don't sweat it. So here we are. We're off. We're driving across the country some. Patter took us... I don't know why. I don't need to say his name that way every time. Darkstar, who I bet you may have popped in for a quick lurk. Congratulations on the gift sub. You have access to the important dog emotes. So, Patter took us on a slight detour off the main motorway just to get us a little more countryside views. So I took a bunch of pictures. We got a little extra far off the beaten path. There were a number of times that we got so far off the beaten path we had to turn around and go back. But still, that was fun. So I got a bunch of pictures of those. Yeah, the windshield got a little dirty at one point here. There he is. Welcome in, Darkstar.
Fuck you up.
Oh, right? Swearing on my stream. How could you, Darkstar? Welcome in. Congrats on the gift. We are working our way across Scotland. We are heading from Edinburgh to... Actually, we didn't get to Glasgow, but we're on our way to Loch Lomond with a bunch of sites in between and a little bit beyond. We're not going to get all the way through everything because our good buddy Dan Servo is going to start in a few minutes. I'm starting a fake beef with Winky. Fake beef is the safest kind of beef. Definitely way to go on that. So we're driving. We keep getting in and out of the woods. I took pictures of everything. This is my family castle. I did a moderately terrible job of doxing everybody last week, so I'm not going to dox myself or anybody else this week. This is the family castle. There is a long story behind this castle. The story is different depending on who you talk to. The absolute known current state is A, it's for sale. I could go buy this. B, for taxation reasons, they removed its roof. Now, the story starts to vary on how long ago that happened. Most of the stories I pick up indicate that in the 1950s, the roof was removed because as long as it was a living domicile, the taxes were higher. So the owners at the time were not living in the castle. So they decided we're not going to pay taxes as though we were living on it. So they took the roof off, making it unlivable. So the tax burden dropped precipitously, but as a side effect, the castle doesn't have a roof anymore, so it is completely overgrown. It is unsafe to be inside. So because it's still a private property, it's fenced off all the way around. You can't get in. I have seen some online photos of what the inside looks like. It looks very much like the outside right here at this point. It is totally overgrown on the inside, but it's something... Multiple members of my family have talked about just what it would take to buy it and attempt to renovate it. I don't think enough of us have enough zeros at the end of our bank account to actually make that happen. But I've made the pilgrimage. I think I am the only one in the family who's made the pilgrimage to the castle itself. There is a hotel for us 20 miles back. That is where my grandparents went. I've been to both. Yeah, you're going to need a big weed whacker to deal with this, especially on the inside. It's a really pretty, and most importantly, I grew up with a friend in Southern California who also has a family castle. His is at Loch Ness, which is cooler, but his is submerged in Loch Ness. So I think there is one turret that you can see above water level, and that's it. My castle kicks his ass. So there it is. I've actually got a bunch of pictures. I scaled these down to just the one, maybe two. I think I got two. There's the second one from a slightly more rotated angle. You can tell that there's a little bit of a breakage offage there on that right side turret. So there may be a lot too. It's not exactly safe to be in or around, but also weirdly, we are literally sitting in someone's front driveway here to take this picture. There are houses built all the way around it. So it's not exactly what you think of when you think of remote castle, because it is not remote. There's also the big golf course not far from here. Oh, good. I got a third picture. I zoomed in just in case there were any Frenchmen up there taunting us. There were not, because you're not allowed to be inside. And there, I did find some regular coups, just not Highland coups. So I guess I should make an amendment to my earlier statement. There were coups, just not the cool coups, just average coups. There's more of them. This, we are going down a path that we ended up turning around and having to come back. The potholes were verging on legendary here. It was almost like being in Colorado. Potholes were so bad. And then you got to a point where the roads were still definitely passable, but there were gates put up that you couldn't get through. So we had to turn around, came back out this way. There's a picture. That's the beginning of the Highlands right there. That is the first land that is high. There's a school, because it's right there. A little bit of driftwood along with a fence and a gate and some water out there. And there's in front of the gate looking that way. There's a car. And here we have made it to Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park. I got a little phlegmy there. I didn't need to go that far. We're at the visitor center. Great big gorgeous lake. The division between the lowlands and the highlands actually cuts right across the middle of the lake, so we get a little of each. Oh, was that your car? Oops, sorry. Okay, everyone pretend that wasn't in there. I haven't even started doxing your pictures yet. Wait till we get there. Oh, or your bank cards or all that other stuff. So welcome to the National Park Visitor Center. Also over here. Now, this is the tour cruises. Fun story. We were going to do one of these. I think it was the circular. But we ended up walking down to the wrong pier. Who knew they had that many piers? And by the time we got down there, that one was like a working ferry. So it didn't go as frequently. And there was a chance it might have gotten us out to the little island. And then we would have had to spend the night there. So we didn't do that one. But we ended up missing the whole circular thing. So instead we drove around the loch, which honestly probably worked out a little bit better for everybody involved. Need this map? Please take a photo to save paper, which is exactly what I did. Although this map was just for the national park, which runs kind of along the east side and then a little around most of the south of the loch. Doesn't actually go to the other side. We drove most of our time on the other side. See, if you hadn't told me it was your car, I never would have remembered. I know why I took that picture now. It's so I could pay for parking because you had to put in the license plate number. Oops. Anyway, I took a picture of the larger sign just so that someday I could read this back, but that day is not today. Here's another one. Connick Hill is a hill farm. Livestock are on the hill near round. Please keep control of your animals. Also, like everywhere else, clean up after them, you filthy mongrels. That's the humans, not the dogs. There's a picture of them doing a bunch of replanting up there on the hillside in front of the visitor center. A cool little 3D map that shows you the division between the highlands and the lowlands. We will be getting to the highlands momentarily. If you want to go haggis hunting, you can pretend. We did not line anybody up to take their pictures here. We weren't that mean to everybody. I'm a little surprised we weren't, but we didn't. Here we're at the Oak Tree Inn. This is where the signs were. There was also a really good coffee shop where we all stopped for a little bit of a coffee break. Is that Dan Servo? Oh, I think I hear Dan Servo starting to warm up in the background. Oh man, I have done I've either done a terrible job or an awesome job of tour guiding because we're only about halfway through the pictures. Definitely going to finish next week. There's a picture. He's Tom Weir. Oh, this was at Tom Weir's Rest. He's an environmentalist who had a lot to do with this area. Apparently, most people seem to feel like he doesn't get enough credit for it, so they built him a statue here. And this is where we walked down to the wrong dock. Apparently, Tom has a bunch of docks. That's the wrong dock that we walked to. I think at this point you may be able to see the tour boat. That may be the white one on the far bank there that's on its way out. So we missed it anyway. At least that one. So this is Balmaha Bay. Sometimes I take pictures of signs. Sometimes I take pictures of signs. And now we've made it. We've driven around the butt of the lake. We're heading up the other side and we're at Firkin Point. There's just a whole bunch of signage. So I took a picture of a whole bunch of signage. I have similar pictures taken on the Oregon coast of stuff just like this because sometimes this is how I get. Don't worry about me. There's medicine for it. I'll be fine. I think we're reaching the point where we may wrap up with the official meeting of Lone Jedi and Miss Silvermoon. There's a picture of a bunch of people showed up for a picnic and a walk down on the beach. Here now I'm on the beach. I took a panoramic shot of the beach, which does not show up well here. This was a nice spot. If we had had a lunch, this would have been the perfect place to have it at. We did get lunch up in the Highlands, much cooler. I don't think we're going to get to that till next week, though. So I took a bunch of pictures around. A lot of this was for sharing with my family. So I was texting a bunch of these out as we went. I got up real close to the water. I think I took a picture with my toes in the water because sometimes that is a thing I do too. I'm standing right up by it. There we go. Jedi and Moon have met. It's official. It's documented. Here we are. It's listed as Glasgow Balmaha. But that's us. We did it. Both wearing hoodies. I almost wore my Tater hoodie as well. I just didn't. I figured I was only going to bring one because of the whole luggage weight thing. So I brought my hometown. Actually, it's not really Portland, but the local lighthouse representation instead. But there it is. We made it. I think that is the only one that doesn't include other people that had to be edited out. So the Spud Squad. I do have my Plinko King hat just over there. It's just out of arm's reach. But my Spud Squad is upstairs. I should have brought that too. In any event, I think this makes a perfect place. We are at photo 245 out of 454 taken in Scotland. It's just over halfway, but we've made it to Miss Moon. That is the important part. We do a little more touring with Miss Moon, but I don't think we have any more co-photos taken. But we do have a lot more stuff to come. So I guess I'm going back to this next week. What I may do, because I don't know whether my Thursdays are going to pan out for streaming or not, is Octopath Traveler may move to Thursday for now, on those Thursdays where I can do it. And Saturday is going to remain Photo Tour until I get through all of this stuff, because by God, I'm sharing all of it, because you will never understand how much I enjoyed this trip. Let me come back over here to the main screen while I wrap up here. So Saturday, the Sea of Saturdays is going to be the Loch of Saturdays for at least next week. Honestly, it might go 2 weeks. June 18th is when the Millennial Tales, The Adventures of Elliot comes out. That is going to be taking Saturdays JRPG position once it is out. So the timing on this may actually work out just right for me to take another 2 weeks to get through all my photos. But I get to yammer as I go. There is one other game I'm interested in that has some Twitch integration that I would like to get to. That may end up being a Thursday thing if I just finish off Octopath off stream. That's a thing that might happen. It's hard for me to plan. Work sucks so much right now, which really it hurts me in the heart because I was in love with this job for a long time. But now that we have been bought out, it's going to shit fast. There's my second one for the stream. That one was fully worthy of it. I am going to set up a raid. We're going to go see what Dan Servo is working on today. Since his stream has already started, I can spoil that he is going to do the sort of horror game called Look Outside. I think the horror happens if you do look outside, so no one look outside while he's playing. Apparently, it's my 5-year modiversary on Dan's stream. When I went to the chat before my stream to make sure that I had it up so I could hear when he got started, I had about a 2-second window to click the share button, and I didn't know it was coming, so I missed it. So I don't think I'm going to get to share that, which makes me a little sad, but also I'm not sure what the point on it was. So I am going to click the start raid button. I am going to let all of you know I'm going to try to be back Thursday. If I can't, then we're coming back here. We're going to finish off Scotland next Saturday. And then if there's time, we'll move on to Dublin. If there's time, I'll do the video of the Tartan Parade. And then maybe Dublin takes the Saturday after that. I don't know. We're going to see where it goes. Here comes some music. Here comes a raid. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again sometime hopefully soon.